this morning, xenophobic attacks. Nigeria set to commence. The All Progressives Congress (APC) has charged the President Muhammad Buhari-led federal government to be ruthless against South Africa in handling the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in the country. Addressing newsmen at a press conference held at the party's headquarters in Abuja, the APC National Chairman Comrade Adams Oshomole charged the federal government to sever all economic relationship with South Africa. While finding out the senseless killings of Nigerians, the ruling party specifically demanded the avoidance of South Africa business interests. He urged Nigerians to drop their MTN SIM cards as well as government revocation of the agreements over the ownership of ShopRite, Stanbic IBTC Bank and Standard Chartered Bank, amongst others. He said that it's clear that South African authorities have not demonstrated sufficient commitment to bringing the attack to an end. This poses obligation on the government to review any agreement that gives South Africans opportunity to begin to develop a monopoly in our commercial lives. Speaking further on what the party expects from the federal government, Oshomole said, "We have a duty to encourage the government to do what we believe is right. Happily, the government has started the initiative." Meanwhile, reports reaching our newsroom says that Zimbabwe's first post-independent leader, Robert Mugabe, is dead. Aged 95, Mugabe died after battling ill health. Reports says he has been in hospital in Singapore since April 2019. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) says that the immediate past governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha, together with his wife, daughter, and an aide, will soon be prosecuted for corrupt enrichment. EFCC said it has established prima facie cases against the suspects, which they will answer to soon. The head Enugu Zonal Office of the Commission, Mr. Usman Imam, disclosed this yesterday in Enugu while briefing newsmen on the activities of the Commission in the last 8 months. He stated that the Commission had already obtained orders for the interim forfeiture of assets traced to the former governor and his wife. Imam said the Commission also obtained a similar order on a property traced to Okorocha's daughter as well as his former aide, Pascal Obi. The Commission said that it is interested in Rochas Foundation and other property converted by individuals for personal use. In Imo, Imam revealed that a 16-block com 96 flats, a multi-million naira, 8 bungalow estate, hotel, 2 schools, shopping plaza, supermarket, hospital, and 4 vehicles are on the Commission's spotlight. He added that while the hospital was traced to Obi, the remaining ones were traced to Okorocha and his family. In another vein, a federal high court in Lagos yesterday remanded three bureau de change operators, Jimmy Ibrahim, Obianoju Umejesi, and Uche Madubuko, who was accused of defrauding a firm of 437 million naira. The trial judge, Nicholas Owibo, made the remand order after admitting each of the suspects to 20 million naira bail with two sureties in a like sum. Justice Owibo, who also demanded that one of the sureties must be a landed property owner within the court's jurisdiction, while the second must be a grade level 12 officer with Lagos state or federal government establishments. The court added that all the bail terms must be verified by the prosecuting agency. The police first arraigned the suspects on August 22, 2019 for alleged conspiracy, obtaining under false pretense and fraud. The prosecutors also alleged that Ibrahim had in April, May, and June this year issued three dual United Bank of Africa checks with the total value of 73 million naira. The trio have pleaded not guilty to the charges. Trial has been fixed for October 3rd. The National and State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Umuahia on Thursday dismissed a petition filed against the election of Senator Ojo Zokalo as the senator representing Abia North. The petitioner, Anaha, the candidate of All Grassroots Alliance, AGA, had filed a petition on grounds that he was unlawfully excluded from the February 23rd Abia North senatorial election. Anaha urged the tribunal to annul the election of the former Abia governor and order a fresh one. Delivering a unanimous judgment, Justice Cornelius Akintayo, the chairman of the three-member panel, held that the first petitioner, Anaha, has failed to prove his allegation of exclusion by the first respondents, the Independent National Electoral Commission. Akintayo said that all records at the panel's disposal indicated that the second petitioner, AGA party, did not present any candidate for the senatorial election. He held that the first petitioner, having not been a candidate of any party, lacked legal standing to present his case before the tribunal and therefore dismissed his petition. The panel had earlier granted the application of the AGA seeking to strike out his name from the petition on grounds that the first petitioner was never nominated by it. Meanwhile, the panel had on Tuesday fixed September 9th for judgment in the matter between Mr. Maa Ohuabunwa of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and Senator Carlo of the APC over the same Abia North senatorial district. The Comptroller General (CG) of the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS), Mohammed Babandede, has discussed that the enhanced e-passport is acceptable and valid for entering all countries. He gave the reassurance in a statement by NIS Public Relations Officer Sunday James in Abuja on Thursday. The CG's reassurance is coming against the backdrop of the recent problem on the e-passport with the authority of the United Arab Emirates (UAE). He said that the uniformity of the NIN information and that of the 10-year validity passport is to ensure one identity, which is a major feature of the new enhanced e-passports. He further said that the new passport is available in the service headquarters Abuja and Ikoyi, pending the rollout in other centers. Nigeria is on the verge of being certified polio-free by the World Health Organization (WHO) as the country has not recorded any case of the disease in the past 3 years. In this report, Chimezie Osems takes a look at efforts being made to ensure that Nigeria achieves the targets in 2020. The reports.
The strategy has been the continued immunization of children below 5 years until the disease is finally eradicated from the face of the earth. In 1988, more than 125 countries of the world had cases of polio. But with continued immunization, the disease is now endemic in only 3 countries of the world: Nigeria, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. In 1996, late South African President Nelson Mandela launched the Kick Polio Out of Africa campaign. At the time of the launch, every country in the continent was endemic to the wild polio virus. It is estimated that 75,000 children below 5 years were paralyzed for life by the disease. 23 years after, Nigeria remains the only country in Africa with reported polio cases. Nigeria missed the target of being declared polio-free in August 2016. The dream was aborted following the dictation of 4 new polio cases in Borno State in Northeast region. The outbreak was blamed on the Boko Haram insurgency that made it difficult for vaccinators to reach every part of the state. Having missed the opportunity 3 years ago, Nigeria again is on the brink of joining the League of Polio-Free Countries. The country has not recorded any new case of the disease since 2016. The Executive Secretary, Abia State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Chinagozie Adendum, described it as a good development.
It's heartwarming to note that for the past 3 years we've not recorded any positive case of poliomyelitis in Nigeria. That is a plus, and that means that we are working assiduously to ensure that Nigeria will be certified a polio-free country in no distant time.
Dr. Adendum said Nigeria has embarked on what it called Polio Eradication Initiative. The initiative, which comprises 4 stages, involves the intensification of routine immunization.
Another one is supplemental immunization activities, which means we go to houses, we go to residential houses, offices, playgrounds, markets, and stuff like that. And then how to reach areas to ensure that our children access this polio vaccine. And then we have what we call the intensified case search. Because we have people we call the disease surveillance and notification officers. So they go all over the place looking for polio or polio-related cases.
Nigeria will be certified polio-free by WHO in 2020 if new cases of polio are recorded in the country. Will the country be able to achieve this target that has remained elusive for several decades? Only time will tell. Chimezie Ozems, MCL News.
Still to come on the news, xenophobia special envoy arrives South Africa. Ramaphosa addresses countrymen, condemns attack. ABC wants South African-owned businesses nationalized. These are more news will come your way with Emmanuel Wazwe from our Umuahia studios after the commercial break. Do stay with us.
Do not deface Abia State with posters. Do not defecate on our streets. Do not litter Abia State.
My brothers, I say wetin man go do for this world where people no go talk. If you chop,
Do not urinate in public places.
you no chop, dem go talk. Wetin make we do for this world? I say make we dey do the things wey we carry for heart. Na so world want am. Abi no be so?
Keep Abia State clean. This message is brought to you by MCLtv.
Thanks for staying with us. At this point, we're connecting with our Umuahia studios where Emmanuel Wanzwe is standing by. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Hello, good morning to you, Ezine, and welcome to Umuahia. The All Progressives Congress is asking the federal government to nationalize the businesses owned by South Africans in Nigeria. The party made the call through its national chairman, Adams Oshomole, at the end of its Emergency National Working Committee meeting in Abuja. This is coming on the heels of the recent xenophobic attacks on Nigerians and other foreign nationals living in South Africa.
What we find completely unacceptable is that whereas South Africans have continued to benefit from the Nigeria business environment and repatriating billions of dollars to South Africa and other places of their choice, the South African authority appear envious of the many jobs and petty trading activities which some Nigerians and other black people are involved in South Africa. We will have enough to save for Nigeria by transferring these businesses to Nigerians and using whatever profits accruing from this process to rehabilitate those Nigerians whose property has been lost and attempt to provide some succor to those who have lost their loved ones. But obviously, the situation of South Africa requires bold, imaginative, and direct message that we are willing and ready to match, South African government authorities' lukewarm attitude to these attacks as if they are, lives are not important. We think that it will also be an appropriate message to South African government that until they find satisfactory explanation and pay appropriate compensation to those innocent Nigerians whose property has been looted and those who have been killed, that until then South Africa Airways should be stopped. Their landing rights in Nigeria should be stopped. They should not have the right to fly to any part of Nigeria until these issues are sorted out. Nigeria needs to show that we are not chicken to be molested.
Oshomole said there was a need for the federal government to send a strong warning to South African government over the attacks of Nigerians and other foreigners. As part of measures to be taken, he proposed a complete takeover of businesses owned by South Africans in Nigeria. Still on the xenophobic attacks in South Africa, the special envoy sent by President Muhammadu Buhari to South Africa has arrived at Johannesburg. He is Ambassador Ahmed Abubakar, the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA. The President's envoy is in South Africa for a meeting with the country's President, Cyril Ramaphosa, over the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in that country. Ambassador Abubakar was received at the River Tambo International Airport by the Nigeria High Commissioner, Ambassador Kabir Bala, and other mission officials. He is expected to meet the host president in Pretoria today, Friday. Meanwhile, President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa says there can be no excuse for the attacks on the homes and businesses of foreign nationals in that country. He said this in a national broadcast to his countrymen over the recent wave of xenophobic attacks on foreigners and their businesses in South Africa.
And our own citizens. As I speak to you, the debris of several days of violence and looting continue to litter many of the streets of our country. People have lost their lives and many have been injured. Families have been traumatized. Livelihoods have been destroyed. We know that at least 10 people have been killed in the violence, 2 of whom were foreign nationals. No amount of anger and frustration and grievance can justify such acts of wanton destruction and criminality. There can be no excuse for the attacks on the homes and businesses of foreign nationals, just as there can be no
Which was aired on the country's national television and radio on Thursday. The South African president regretted that at least 10 people, 2 of whom were foreign nationals, were killed in the attacks. And back home, in recognition of the significant role charities and individuals have undertaken to alleviate human sufferings and humanitarian crises, the UN General Assembly designated 5th of September as the International Day of Charity. This date was chosen to mark the anniversary of the death of Mother Teresa, and the resolution is, in part, a tribute to her work and dedication to charitable causes. In this report, MCLtv highlights the benefits of giving to charity, and Precious Ezebo is our guide.
International Day of Charity celebrated 5th September every year to commemorate the death anniversary of Mother Teresa, to make people understand the importance of charity. The day focuses on the role played by charitable organizations around the world and actions that have created more inclusive and resilient societies. Charity is helping others, giving to the poor, and yes, it starts from home. The concept of charity has been blurred. Very few people come forward to help others. Charity helps and supports people in several needs. It allows us to think wild. Charity saves and improves lives of people in fighting diseases, protecting children, and also it gives hope to thousands of people. Respondents who spoke to MCL News highlights the benefits of giving to charity.
Anybody who lends to people without collateral, without collecting anything, freely giving, as God said, I give you life and position, freely you shall give. I tell you, the Lord is your protector.
If people see that once they give, they lose. To me, I don't look at it that way. I think the best on individuals. To me, I derive joy giving once I help. So anybody can give it a different interpretation based on his own understanding. To me, it's good to give.
You only mind when it came at a month. 1 naira way go, a fee for you for way go. You all I when it came a get to see it. No, not that. You know, it can mark. No, you want to run on the other hotel. Gayaka, Stenny Meka. One, you got not time and a catching. And that game when we got on in Yamaka. Una nego. And when he got trained Yamaka, Chineke gave Kumaka, and Yamaka here on also.
The respondents also condemned the act of giving to charity in the open. According to them, it goes against the biblical injunction on alms giving.
For me, when I give to you, I don't tell anybody. So therefore, when you give to people, the Lord will touch that person's hand. Do you know he has done something good for you? Go and testify. And people will say, God bless him. And that blessing, people are blessing him, will bring more protection unto him.
Actually, in a matter, Kahacho can warn you, Gahoya, Kahane, Manakwana, Agahoya, no when Manaho, Ile and your time will touch them, Magilepana and never Chineka Choyano.
Giving to charity help alleviate economic hardship in the society. In line with the goals of the International Day of Charity, everyone is encouraged to give, no matter how little. Precious Ezebo, MCL News.
And that's the size of our package from Omar. My name is Emmanuel Azwe, saying good morning to you, and back to you, Ezine.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Senator Dino Melai has registered his displeasure with results of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) governorship primary in Kogi. He described the results of the contest in which he participated as totally unacceptable. The Kogi West senator took to his Twitter page to express dissatisfaction with the conduct and the outcome of the exercise. He said, and I quote, "It is ridiculous to declare a final result of PDP governorship primary election in Kogi State when my votes sorted out yesterday in 8 out of 10 ballot boxes are missing, only to declare votes in 2 out of 10 ballot boxes as my votes." End of quote. Senator Dino Melai lost the governorship election ticket to Musa Wada, who emerged as the People's Democratic Party flag bearer for the November 16 governorship election. Musa Wada, a younger brother of the immediate past governor Idris Wada, who also contested for the ticket, scored 748 votes to clinch the party ticket. Senator Dino Melai polled 70 votes to emerge fourth. And on sports, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, the EFCC, is said to be conducting a new investigation into the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF. The latest investigation came on the back of a separate case brought by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and won by the Special Presidential Investigation Panel, SPIP. The latest wide-ranging investigation is looking into fraud allegations over how sponsorship money meant for the development of football in the country had been stolen. The investigation into the NFF will look at allegations of wrongdoing before the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. The inquiry is focusing on money generated from the NFF's official sponsors, domestic league television sponsorship, and payments from a former kit supplier for all the national teams. It also focused on funds provided by federal and state governments for friendly matches involving the Super Eagles and the misappropriation of about $2.7 million from the Financial Assistance Program of football's world governing body, FIFA. And that's the size of our news package this morning. But before we go, a look at our major stories. The federal government is to initiate legal actions against the South African government before the African Court of Human and People's Rights in Arusha, Tanzania. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has charged the President Muhammad Buhari-led federal government to be ruthless against South Africa in handling the xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in the country. We also brought to you that the National and State House of Assembly Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Umuahia on Thursday dismissed a petition filed against the election of Senator Orji Kalu as a senator representing Abia North. And on sports, Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, the EFCC, is said to be conducting a new investigation into the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF. That was the news. Thanks for watching. Please do join us again by 8 a.m. for Good Morning Abia. I am Izzy Nwafo. Do have a lovely day.